We are running a bit late. We've just gone live there. And I will not waste any time, but to immediately give over to the Chief Activist of ORSA to lead the proceedings. Thank you very much.
Sanibonani Dumelang, good afternoon, good morning, fellow South Africans. It's my great privilege to be here in a community of Emfuleni at a time such as this one that our nation finds itself in need of leadership, but more than anything, as we've noticed the delay even in the elections, municipalities like Emfuleni simply cannot afford it. I'm joined today by the Bishop, and he will introduce the team that is here and speak a little bit about this community. We're here today because there are a number of key interventions that we want to put. Is that first and foremost, no one can deny the fact that our country finds itself in a very difficult position. The majority of young people cannot find work, and more than anything, local government is on the verge of collapse, as the Auditor General has already highlighted. Emfuleni is one such municipality. It's a municipality where for many of the citizens here, sewage runs through not only their homes, but as all of us know, it is impactful to what is happening to the state of the Vaal River. It is a municipality upon which electricity is in short supply. And as many of you would know, it's typical of the fact that financially, Emfuleni has been, as the Premier's office has already indicated, the worst run municipality in Gauteng. This is not a place, this is not the South Africa we need to build. Against the conflict of COVID, where too many people already, even as we sit here now, are further impacted by a virus, we simply cannot afford to have a local government that is incapable of delivering. It is thus against that backdrop that we've come here today in a model that One South Africa has put together with New Horizon to say, how can we work collectively to bring about change in Emfuleni? Many citizens are tired of the politics. They're tired of political parties. They see the big political parties as instruments where they can drop into communities candidates that don't come from them. Citizens who represent just the political party instead of the people they're elected to serve. We want to bring change. And as I've spoken many times, even on here, is to say when we talk about Section 15As, we recognize that you can register a local organization, and so that you can hold true to the mantra that is put, that democracy is always by the people and for the people. That ultimately, it's not just that local is lekker, but it's that local works for the people. It works for accountability, it works for ensuring that services are delivered, and Section 15As are the future that we believe are going to work. We've already partnered, as I announced earlier, with now well over 15 municipalities, and more are still coming on board, as we continue to ensure that they can come on and we can work together in community by community to bring change that comes from the ground up. Today, I'm here to not only introduce Bishop Vincent, I'm going to ask him right now to not only introduce the leadership that is here, but to speak us through some of the challenges that they face. I want to make a few announcements. One, as One South Africa movement, we've stated that the sooner the elections can go ahead, the better, because Emfuleni desperately needs change. Secondly, Section 15As are the way to go, in the sense that local government must be in the hands of the people with candidates that come from them. Thirdly, the New Horizon movement is the vehicle to bring that change in Emfuleni. It has to be that, because ultimately, through leadership that is expressed here through Bishop Vincent, this is ideally the space that we can put leaders on the table that come from the community, serve the people, to be able to bring change. My fellow South Africans, now is not the time for us to wait for another messianic political party. It's a time for us to take power back to the people. And as the Constitutional Court judgment put it so eloquently, to say that you can't say amandla ngawethu and really not give power to the people. This is that opportunity to be able to do so now. So Bishop, let me hand over to you. You can introduce the team, share a little bit about where Emfuleni is at, and what are some of the places and some of the challenges that you face in the community today.
Well, good morning, fellow South Africans. Let me say to the chief activist, Mmusi Maimane, thank you so much. Thank you for coming to visit Emfuleni. We have partnered with One South Africa because of the experience you have had in Parliament. You have known and you have discovered that politics in South Africa is broken. And that is a very rich experience which has made us to decide to partner with you. We are grateful for the vision of One South Africa. South Africa is over-politicized. Everything is politicized. There's no difference between what is governance and what is party politics. And part of the vision of One South Africa is to depoliticize and to make sure that we see the difference between what is party politics and what is governance. This is in the center of New Horizon movement, to depoliticize and professionalize local government. That is in the center of our vision. And therefore, we have seen alignment and synergy between New Horizon movement and One South Africa. And what you have been doing to support independent candidates and independent civic organizations like New Horizon movement. So we are so grateful. So far, we have had training that has come at a huge expense of One South Africa. It has helped us. It has helped us a lot. So we want to say we value this partnership, and we are grateful. This partnership, ladies and gentlemen, comes at the time where Emfuleni has collapsed. And we believe that Emfuleni should have been dissolved long ago. Unfortunately, because of party politics, it is still allowed to exist and not deliver the services that our people deserve. That is so unfortunate. Now, if we can begin to talk about the problems that we have, Mr. Maimane, here, it's gonna take us the whole day. Safe to say, you are here at the right time to see for yourself the collapse. We have taken a conscious decision to say that if we can begin to talk about the problems in Fuleni, it's going to take us the whole day. But we have a plan. We have a vision. We have a mission statement. We have a plan. We are saying to people at Emfuleni, help has come. Help is here. New Horizon movement is here, and it is partnering with One South Africa. Somebody said, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go further, take someone with you. We want to go further. And that is why we are partnering with One South Africa. We are about depoliticizing local government. We are not talking about one political party. We're talking about all party politics. Because we are saying local government is the third sphere of governance. It is national, provincial, and local. Local government, it's not about party politics. Local government is about implementation. And because it's about implementation, it should not be about politics, but professionalizing local government. And that is why we have this vision as New Horizon to say, let's depoliticize and professionalize local government. Our fellow South Africans and people of Mfuleni, this is a time, and this is a unique and a very special time we have to change things around, for the better, for the people of Mfuleni. This is the time where we are not going to vote our hearts, but will vote our minds. New Horizon Movement has got a vision, not only a vision, but also a plan to implement and change things around. And what we are saying is that let us use our minds this time and let us vote New Horizon Movement. We are going to change things around. We're going to depoliticize and professionalize local government. We have a plan. Check us out. Check our website. Check our Facebook page. Call us, because we are here to change things around. This is the greatest opportunity. And these elections, Mr. Maimane, we are saying, it's not about winning elections, but it's about the next 4 years. That is very critical. Choose correctly, choose rightly, choose New Horizon Movement. Time for party politics is gone. Time for playing politics is gone. This is the moment where we must depoliticize and professionalize local government. We are going to take you through horrible places where our municipalities has failed. Power substations. I mean, the issue of sewerage that we have called our municipality over and over again to resolve, but up to this day, it has failed to resolve. And we're going to take you through those places just to see for yourself. And hopefully we will get more support from you, because the issues here are desperate. The people are desperate. People can't wait for change. We have partnered with One South Africa. We've partnered with business. We've partnered with churches. We've partnered with civic organization to say, this is no time to play party politics. This is no time to go it alone. This is no time to seek praises because we have done something on your own. But this is the time for like-minded civic movements to come together for the change. The people in this region cannot wait. And here we are. New Horizon Movement is bringing a change. And we want to ask you to support us. And I have a leadership briefly that I would like to introduce. We have Mr. Ben Mutsukunyane, who is our campaigns manager. We have Dr. Penny Mulapisi, who is the head of our search team. And we have Mr. Jake Sifatsa, who's our chief administrative officer. And we also have Mr. Gerald van Rensbeck, who is our chief operations officer. I'm Vincent Jones. I'm the leader of New Horizon Movement. This is who we are, and we are ready to work for the people. And we also have Yusuf here. Thank you so much for coming, Yusuf. Good to see you. We are ready to work. we are ready to change the lives of people, and our people are ready. Thank you so much for coming. Welcome.
So just before I proceed to take questions, what I want to ensure that we do is that for South Africans to understand how this model works, because like I said, you can do it in your communities. As One South Africa, we partner with organizations who work across the body of the whole community, business, civic society. We bring them together in order to bring about the change. We've registered a Section 15A organization, which will be on the ballot box as New Horizon Movement. And we will be identifying candidates who will serve underneath that directly, who are independent, so that you can vote for them. And then when it's done, we will ensure that we bring change to Emfuleni. To do that, I need to ask everybody. We all have to register, and thankfully the IEC has put the elections portal on elections.co.za or .org.za to make sure that more people can register to vote. I want to speak to young people, especially the young people who are turning 18 in this year and this very difficult year. Register to vote. This is not in many ways about your future, it's about your today. If 2 out of 3 young people cannot find a job in this country, then why your vote matters as much as any person's. It is counted in the same weight. I want to urge young people not only to register to vote, to participate as candidates. This election is yours to bring about change in this country and ultimately in this community of Emfuleni. We'll be holding more of these briefings with more associations as we're going across the country, identifying key people who are going to bring change. Emfuleni is ready for change, and I'm certainly, as I'm here today, endorse what New Horizon Movement is doing. And as One South Africa, with my colleague Dorian, who comes from One South Africa, we want to ensure that we work together collectively to change the streets. Thank you very much. I will take questions now. If you do have questions.
Thank you so much. I've got a question from independent newspapers by Lady Kim Nkosi. He's asking, so with all the challenges in Emfuleni, it's the movement here locally ready, and is it also supported by the people? Because we know that we can come up with good solutions and all of that, but if they're not supported from the ground, people might not realize the change that One South African Movement is calling for through local associations. So we want to know if you've done your work on the ground, do you have a support?
Okay. Should we take one, or can we take a few just at a go?
Take a few at a go. Quite a one from a local one, 96.6 VTR, Val Community Radio. We, as residents of the Vanderbijl municipality, we're very happy to see such initiatives. What we want to find out is why we're not hearing from you on the ground.
Sure.
So
Bishop, let me start with the first one, and then local government is prescribed in law as to what are the basic things that every municipality ought to be doing. The Municipal Systems Act and the Municipal Finance Management Act are 2 guiding pieces of legislation that ask us in many ways to build a few things. The first is to build a leadership and a team that, as Bishop has said, that is professional and capable. What has been happening in Emfuleni is that they've been deploying people who can't even run a sewage plant. Now, if you can't be deployed to work in a competence that you've never been trained in. That's how we all lament corruption, but we forget that corruption is often an outcome of people who are deployed who do not know the job, and so the seeds of corruption are already planted, and it makes it possible for the corrupt not only to capture the state, but to personalize it so that they can extract resources out of it, whilst the citizens themselves suffer. So the first most important principle is to establish that professional leadership and build capability into a municipality. Secondly, the municipality is not going to succeed economically if it doesn't have bulk services and bulk infrastructure. Without the supply of water or the supply of electricity, this municipality is not going to thrive, both from a revenue collection point of view, because people cannot be paying for something they are not getting, but equally from a deployment of those services point of view, so that a business has got water, electricity, so that the home can be able to cook at night and be able to look after the kids, so that ultimately schools can function. It becomes dysfunctional when bulk infrastructure is destroyed. That's why the unemployment levels in Mfuleni are high, fundamentally because even the industries have had to shut down because there's just no supply of services. The last thing I think is important to note is that you have to change the political leadership so that it's accountable to the people. How is it that money can get looted in this municipality and still to this day no one has been arrested, let alone prosecuted, let alone fired? Instead of trying to merge Mfuleni with other municipalities, surely the response principally ought to be accountability of political principles. So I want to establish that is why One South Africa is in this partnership. It's because we want to build governance back to the people, so that Bishop Vincent, if he doesn't do his job, the people themselves will recall Bishop. They will vote to say, no, we want Bishop out because he's not working for us anymore. And when he works for them, people can say, we will continue to rate and engage Bishop so that we can ensure that the work is done. That is why this is an important change. If we keep with political parties, they use money here for rallies, for campaigning, for the sole purpose of enhancing the name of a political party, and they fail the very basic job of delivering services. You cannot say, as I've been driving around in this community, that you are better off saying your potholes have got nice roads. It would be wrong to say there are roads in Mfuleni. That is the state of this collapsing municipality, and it has happened right underneath the political system that we've had in this country. So who's going to invest in a place like that? We need change. So Bishop, I don't know if you want to add in that regard. And then
Thank you so much. What we are doing here today, we are launching in a media space, New Horizon Movement, with our partners. We had a choice. We had a choice to run to the media without our infrastructure being strong or being built. We had that choice. But we chose to say, this is about governance. And governance in the municipality starts with New Horizon Movement. We had to step back and make sure that we build infrastructure. We get leadership in place. These are some of the things that are very expensive to do. Right now, we are at the place where we have our manifesto. This is an example of our manifesto. And this is a lot of work. This takes work, this takes time, this takes resources, this takes expertise, this takes right leadership. We have a website that we have developed. We are now busy interviewing candidates. So we want to make sure that when we go out there, we know that we have an properly oiled machine that is ready to govern. So this has taken time, but we don't regret that time, because right now we have a solid organization, New Horizon Movement, that is ready to go out there and take over on behalf of the people. That's why it has taken us time to get out there. As for support, I can tell you the people of Mfuleni, they are ready for change. We have put up some feelers out there. We've spoken in 1 or 2 radio stations, and we have seen a lot of support, overwhelming support, where people are saying, we are tired. And as people are saying they are tired, we are in a position now to say, we are ready. We are ready to take over.
Okay.
It was a time not wasted.
Got a last question from Marius Chakaranka. Why One South Africa movement? And will you be contesting all wards in Mfuleni? And what makes you think that people will give you support? Because many political parties that came before have actually made promises, including the ANC itself, but Mfuleni remains in a very bad state. That was the last one from me.
Okay. Why we are contesting Sidibeng. We are contesting the district. We are contesting Mfuleni. We are contesting Midval. We are contesting Lesedi. And we are not contesting a ward. We are contesting the entire district. One of the reasons is that in our operational goals, we have 1 year to about 2 to 3 years fixing, consolidating, and innovating. If you look at the district itself, the district is something that was created to support politics and politicians. There is so much duplication between the district and the local municipalities. And that duplication results in so much wastage of funds that are supposed to be helping in local government and then in service delivery. We want to get rid of that. We want to change that. For a start, we want to make sure that at the district level, we merge some of those portfolios, whereby you have an MMC of human settlement at the district, and you have it also, the same portfolio, at the level of local municipality. What are all these people doing? Why such a wastage? And for a start, what we are going to do is to make sure that at the district level, we consolidate up to at least 4 district portfolios, so that most of that funding can actually be transferred into local government, into local municipality for the purpose of service delivery. That is why we are contesting the district and local municipalities. In terms of support, like I have said, people are ready, and people are ready to support a movement like New Horizon. Why New Horizon? It is because we are not a political party. We are a movement. Party politics exclude, but a movement includes. Party politics is about power, but the movement is about people. Political parties are about convenience, but we are about principle. We are driven by the needs and the agenda of people, and not by a narrow party political agenda. This is the change that our people are looking for. This is the principle that One South Africa stands for. This is the principle we stand for, and that is why we are in partnership. The principle of depoliticizing local government. We don't want to take political decisions, but we want to take professional decisions. Fellow South Africans, people of Mfuleni, it is evil, Mr. Maiman, for anybody to have to produce a membership card of a political party before he gets an RDP house. This is what reduces our people to party political pawns. And you are saying that time has come to an end. Let's restore the dignity of our people by giving them a professional local government.
Just one last one. I think it's very important. It's directed to you, Mr. Maimane. How will One South African movement and the New Nation, New Horizon movement, be held accountable by communities, and how will then One South African movement throughout the whole country, with all associations that are endorsed or partnering with One South African movement, be held accountable on behalf of communities if they do not deliver on the services? Because we've seen with political parties that we are not able to hold them accountable, and we're not quite sure, even though this is talking about direct elections, we just need to understand who will hold who accountable and how.
Sure. First of all, I think that's a very important question, because the reason we're departing from party politics is because accountability has failed in party politics. You can have a ward councillor who's corrupt. So long as they're in the right faction of a political party, they will stay. So accountability doesn't work in political parties. But it also doesn't work because it is devoid from citizens themselves. As One South Africa, we've established a process upon which there can be a recall mechanism ward by ward basis. So that, like I said earlier on, that as the same citizens who give their votes to a particular candidate, it is the same citizens who can withdraw their support by simply saying, we have requested and written through one essay, the Independent Candidates Association, ultimately to the Municipal Council to say, you will then be able to recall this candidate. This is the power of direct democracy. If you get onto an Uber cab, for example, you don't wait and call the head office. You say there's a 5-star, 3-star, 2-star, 1-star rating, you rate it immediately, and that driver starts to lose business. We want direct interaction with citizens so that they themselves can be able to go at a local level. We are willing to recall person X or person Y. So our view is that as Bishop is going around working with candidates in municipalities, if residents in those municipalities are uncomfortable, they feel something is not working, they have every right of recourse to say this person must be removed. And as a community, we are requesting the removal of Council X or PR member Y, because once you've done that, accountability is always with the people. This is why we believe this is the model to take the democracy forward. Because the old model of let's wait for the political party to decide itself is the reason we find ourselves in this mess. There's state capture in South Africa, but you can't tell me there's one person who's gone to jail. There is municipal capture. That will make the national state capture look like a picnic. I can promise you that now. But nobody's been held accountable. But the citizens themselves in communities, they know. Before we even discuss state capture corruption, why are we not discussing the ward councillors, as Bishop Vincent has already alluded, the ones who issue food parcels from the back of their houses to people who they know? They've been looting during PPE. They've looted PPEs during COVID. The community itself knows those people. Imagine if we had this model during this PPE time. It means people would be able to say, councillor there is storing food parcels that were meant for the people. We want to ask that councillor has looted that. We want to remove that councillor. And with a majority vote, they can remove the person. Now, power doesn't sit with a head office somewhere who says, but councillor is in my side of the camp, or this one or that one. The community themselves come back and say, we must remove that. That's the power of democracy. That's how accountability works. Lastly, the Municipal Systems Act infuses accountability back to communities in the sense that when you draft processes like the IDP, ward-based delivery models, that's what the law envisaged. We feel we are giving effect to what the South African law was already thinking about. But the political parties captured it and made the law weak. That's why you have ward committees that are already put in the basic law of the country so that you can appoint those people, and those people must work within the ward for the people, not for the party. But because we've had such a corrupt government, they've worked out a way to even capture ward committees to ensure that those ward committees work for the party instead of for the people. Yet it is the public fiscus that pays for them. Gone should be the days where if you have a ward office, a constituency office, that must be for a political party, because it perpetuates this very culture that if you need an RDP house, best you produce a membership card. When there's extended public works programs where young people can get a job, you must produce a political party membership. Those days must be finished. We must get to a point where if you have a constituency office, it is for the community, and ward councillors and PR councillors work for the community. If we do not do this change, fellow South Africans, I can assure you another party is going to come on the table, replicate the same model, and the net consequence is that we might, before, had a black, green, and gold capture. You might end up with a blue one, a green one, a red one. They can change colors, but the lives and the livelihood of people doesn't change. That's why you must change the system, introduce ethical leadership. That's why I've been deliberate to even refer to Bishop Vincent, because I think it also is indicative of the caliber of human being that he is and the team that is here, so that we can show South Africans that leadership cannot be simply found in political parties. It can be found in the breadth and the width of society and its depth. Then that way, it's power to the people. Fellow South Africans, thank you so much. Register to vote. That is my invitation. We are going to close now. I'll take further questions at other platforms.
Thank you so much, everyone. And I think it was a success. And with all the questions that comes in, gives everybody else who's sitting here an opportunity to say, how can I respond to them, even on the ground? You know, our leaders here have responded directly to the questions that are raised by the media, who's got interest of the people on the ground. But I think all of us now actually understand that we've got to do more on the ground to make sure that we respond with action to all these questions that were asked. And I'm so excited that now more than ever before, we have South Africans that will vote for their leaders from communities and be able to hold them accountable directly there. And at the same time, make sure that we get services that are delivered for the people. As it is currently, we've got political parties that are fighting internally about positions so that they can actually line their own pockets. But now they're not fighting for the needs of the people. And this kind of partnership, we need many of this going forward. May we, all of us, talk to our former business partners in different provinces, different municipalities, talk to our relatives, our brothers-in-law and sisters-in-law in other areas to make sure that, hey, let's get up and make sure that we ourselves find leaders among ourselves that will lead and deliver services in the municipality. Thank you very much for making time. We come to the end of this press conference. To my colleague Vikas, we now come to an end, and thank you very much.
Have a handshake.
Yeah, we still are.